Welcome to channel 730. Today I have a really special guest and we are going to discuss her brand and her product. So I'm just going to get on here and invite her. So let's have a go at this. So there's a few products here too, which I am going to show you guys too, because they are delicious. I've had a few of them already, a few of the flavours before, and there's some delicious ones to try out today with you. So let's get them on. So I've invited
Hello.
Shauna.
Hi.
Hello,
How are you?
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So I'm just telling the guests on here that we've got some of the Posh Puddins to try out,
Fab.
because I've already tasted two of them.
Okay, cool.
One of them was the white chocolate and raspberry one. It's
Nice.
really nice. It's got a nice tangy flavour to it.
Absolutely.
And the other one would be salted caramel
Yeah.
chocolate. That was so delicious too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
So,
that's our
and
aim.
thank you, yeah, for bringing those ones to us and letting us try it too. So
Absolutely.
today I've got some questions mainly about how you began Posh Puddings
hmm
and where it came from. If you want to kind of just introduce that and
Yeah.
start a bit.
No, absolutely. And sorry for that. It was such a nice day today. I just thought I'd sit outside and have the blue behind me rather than a dull white wall.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Just, yeah, do whatever you
just get
like to do.
out.
Yeah, it's really sunny today. It's going to be maybe like 27 degrees
It's going to be
later
lovely.
on.
So Posh Pudding actually is a bit of a rebrand. So we started way back in 2017, and this was a time when dairy-free vegan products just weren't available in the same way that they are today. I finished university, I started in a job, and I couldn't find anything in the shops that really tickled my taste buds. I was dairy-free. And I just really wanted a dessert that I could share, so I would go and buy a dessert. None of my friends who weren't dairy free would want to eat it. And I was so fed up of being that person eating my own dessert on my own, not being able to tuck into theirs. And I really missed the opportunity of sharing. So it made it
Yeah.
my mission to kind of create a dessert that people who were dairy free, gluten free, vegan could eat, but also those who didn't have those restrictions or those dietary requirements could actually enjoy as well. And there was an element of it being just a mainstream product that everyone could enjoy. So I went away and I started creating recipes in my kitchen, and we created a company called Portobello Attic. And the reason why it was called Portobello Attic was because we were based in my house, which is the attic of a house in Portobello Road. So it was pretty much a very much like, what can we call what we're doing? Okay, well, we live here, we're creating it here, let's just go for that. And we actually created soy-based cheesecakes, and that's where the journey began. And we went to Camden Market, all these different markets to really start to have conversations with people about dairy-free cheesecake. And the best and the most interesting experience I ever had were, at that time, people couldn't believe that you could make a cheesecake without cheese. Now, in a world today where there is nut butters and nut milks and meat-free steaks and all these different wonderful things that are on the market now, at the time, I had so many people question me and say, cheesecake without cheese. And the best thing about it was giving them a sample and saying, try it, and then walking away with a sale. It was a most amazing feeling. So I think we were very much at the beginning part of that kind of, from a very small perspective. We were not a big company, but just on the ground witnessing that kind of change in perspective about dairy-free and gluten-free foods. And so that's where it all began. And we've done a lot since then to now become Posh Pudding. So I'll tell you a bit about that change, but I won't interrupt all your questions. But it's been a long journey to get to where we are today. We've been refining, changing, listening, and adapting to what people actually want. And it started off with what I wanted, and then it's now about what my customers want and what the people want. So yeah, that's how it all started.
Yeah, okay, exactly. So it's like kind of a consumer kind of feeling, wasn't it, for you? Like there wasn't a product that you wanted, and then you kind of
Absolutely.
created your own. And like you said, It's a cheesecake without the cheese, and
Yeah,
it's kind of pea and coconut inside, isn't it, instead of
yeah,
the ingredients. How did
yeah.
you get to those ingredients and kind of formulate this tasty middle part there?
Yeah, so originally I started with soy-based cheesecakes, and I realized over time that when I wanted to become the business to become more sustainable, really looking into what soy products were and what they did for the environment, we wanted to kind of steer away from that. There's nothing wrong with soy. A lot of people eat soy. It was just more a case of trying to really perfect our product. So we were really trialing different ways of we tried cashew nuts, but for me, to be honest, cashew nuts just didn't give that creamy texture. And so we came across pea and coconut. Coconut's a great ingredient that, and we use organic coconut. So, we really try to use really natural ingredients where possible. And the pea just gives an element of kind of protein. And pea is actually on the up. People are really using peas in such great ways. It's not so much, don't use green peas and put them in the cheesecakes. People get very confused between that. So we use the starch of a pea and the protein of a pea to really create a structure. But it's not like we're crushing up some green garden peas and putting them in the product.
You'd be quite green then, wouldn't it? It would be like a greeny colour to it.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
it'd be
it's kind
different.
of like trial and error. You were testing out different ingredients, and then you came up with this kind of tasty treat with the pea and coconut base inside of it.
Yeah.
So, what I was going to say as well, because you were talking about it being sustainable, and one of this is the actual glass product as well. Where
Yeah.
it comes from. And I think that is something that's really cool because once I finish something like this, I will wash it out
Yeah.
and I usually put in some maybe my jewelry in there to
Yeah.
hold it, or even
Yeah.
coins, loose change,
Yeah.
or even my keys. I just pop them in there after
Yeah.
it's used. So this is a really great way to, like you said, be sustainable as well. So you're doing more for the environment that way as well,
Yeah.
which is really
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, and even we're going to go a step further as well. So at the moment we have labels, as you can see on the jars, and our original thought was to be really zero waste. We wanted to create something that didn't have waste attached to it. However, we find the labels a bit annoying because when you want to reuse it, you want it to be your own, and we don't want people to think that they have to represent Posh Pudding in their own day-to-day lives. So what we're going to do is put a very neat recyclable sleeve on it. We're working with a designer at the moment to really create that look. But again, it's all trial and error. And as a small business, you're constantly trying to listen and adapt to what your customers are, because we are so close to them. We talk to them. I constantly talk to my customers on Instagram and email, listening to them constantly about what their feedback is. I think that's the beauty of a small business. You have that real engagement with the people who are buying your products. And the fact that the labels can be sticky, right, we'll get rid of them and we're going to actually listen to what people want and give them a sleeve. So again, the whole process has just been refining and refining to really find that kind of really perfect fit for people.
Yeah, exactly, because it's good that you were listening to them, because when I was washing it off, the sticker label, it was quite sticky on there, and I was trying to scurry it off and scurry it off,
Yeah,
and
you need a
it was
technique, which takes time, and people don't want to spend their time doing that. Absolutely. So yeah, so we've listened and we're changing that now. So we originally was like sustainability, zero waste. We're being still sustainable. We're still being, zero waste, encouraging recycle and reusability of it. But an element needs to change. So we're doing that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So it's like you've kind of listened, and now you're going to redesign, and people can keep using them, reusing them, which is really
Absolutely.
cool. So do you want to talk about the whole aspect of it being 100% vegan? What was it kind of that and also now it's gluten free as well, which is
Yep.
it's
Yep.
good for
Absolutely.
celiac disease. So anyone who has celiac disease, they can eat these puds.
Oh God, yeah, it's completely. So the only allergen, really, to be honest, we use nuts in our facility. However, most of the products are nut free as well. So ideally, I'd really like to be at a stage where our product is completely allergy friendly and we have absolutely no nuts. And then it is a universal product where it does appeal to the mass in terms of hitting those dietary requirements, people who need them, but also hitting that taste for people who don't really have those issues and can actually just eat what they want, really, lucky people. So it is gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, palm oil-free, soy-free. We really try to hit the main ones. And nuts would be fantastic. I'd love to get to a point where we could be completely nut-free too, because a lot of our cheesecakes don't contain nuts at all. It could have that trace, so we can't actually put it on the label. But my aim would be to have this pudding that tastes incredible, which it does, but also it just appeals to everyone so that everyone can enjoy it. There's no, oh God, there's this in it and there's that in it, there's hidden this and that. It's just a pudding that you can bring to a desk or a table and everyone can kind of tuck in with no fear of it being a risk to them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really good to have all those, you know, allergy-free stuff for the product. Sometimes it can be
Absolutely.
difficult to find something in a store. But these, when I tried the other ones before, it had a really nice homemade taste to it. And
Mhm.
sometimes you get these other products where they leave a really horrible and
Aftertaste, yeah, no.
yeah, or it makes your nose like really tingly and something that you don't want when you're eating the product. But with these, you don't get that at all,
Yeah,
and it is delicious. So I'm going to try one now.
go for it.
Maybe you can describe how you were inspired to create these kind of flavors. This one here now I'm going to taste is cherry bakewell.
Yep, go for it.
Just yeah, how you kind of came about with. I think is there 8 options now on the website, and just like how you came up with them.
So there are 8 options. Our best sellers are salted caramel, sticky apple, and white chocolate raspberry. I think everyone loves salted caramel. I think we've really gone for flavors that people actually like outside of our world. So like cherry bakewell, salted caramel, white chocolate raspberry. They're flavors that you see all the time in different puddings. So we've really tried to really stick to it. I really wanted to go a little bit crazy with some flavors, but actually in the end of it, I thought, no, let's give people actually what they like to eat instead of being creative and being different. I think it's really important to kind of be familiar, but also unique. And our uniqueness is that what's in our products, the style of it, like you say, how it's made, how it's packaged, the taste is so unique, but actually we're giving that flavor, that familiarity of flavor. So cherry bakewell is a pretty known flavor, especially in England, for the bakewell tart. So we really try to bring that taste across in the cheesecake.
You can definitely taste it, and it's so nice. This is a really
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. A
yeah,
live
it's like
taste test.
reminds you of that cherry bakewell tart, doesn't it? That flavor. Oh,
So
it's just it's so nice.
Oh, good. No, what we try to do is, so there's elements of the cheesecakes which have real fruit. So we use real cherries in the cherry bakewell, which you don't usually get sometimes with cherry bakewell tarts. They usually use a jam. So we try to create elements of like premium to it. So, for example, our strawberry shortbread cheesecake is a layer of strawberry coulis with shortbread biscuit. We've really tried to kind of encourage that premium quality of the cheesecakes, which is kind of bringing it back to, like you say, homemade good food, which is real fruits, real biscuit, you know, not any of this artificial nonsense that needs to go in that gives you the idea that it is. So all of our flavoring and colors are natural throughout all the product, and it's really important to us because we want it to be a kind of product that you can eat with your family or your friends, you know, your children. There's no issues then with it. You can't, it's not boundary then to anyone else who wants to try it.
Exactly. So you're saying this is one of your most popular ones.
Yep.
Was it salted caramel
And sticky apple.
Yeah, sticky apple. So this is this one here.
And also our layers, I love how well that was not it was not planned at all, but our layers are really well defined and we've had such great feedback on that. But that's not that we do it all by hand, so that's a bonus. It was never planned.
That was planned because I was saying like that's in the middle, you know, the pea and coconut kind of middle part of it, you know, the base.
So we planned the layers, but the way that they sit is not planned. So really, because the top layer is more runny than the other layers, you could expect it to drip in and whatever, but it really sits well. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's really good. So you were saying kind of like for our audience, because they're mainly like couples or single people dating. I think this is a really great idea for like you were saying like you're outdoors today and people can picnic and to bring a few of these into their basket or just carry them along because they are such a delicious treat to have together and just to enjoy it. I don't know.
They're so good. They are. And do you know what the best thing is? When you order with us, you get a reusable ice pack. So if you are going to go out for a picnic, you just throw it back in the freezer, the ice pack, not the cheesecakes. Well, you could freeze them if you wanted to. Put it in the freezer and whip it out when you want. Put it in your bag. And even actually the other day, I even took some to a picnic myself, actually. And I just put it in a plastic bag with the ice pack and it lasted. It kept cool. Because the glass holds the coldness in as well, so it doesn't just lose it with plastic. With plastic, it can just like drop out, but the cold of the glass really works well to keep it cold, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. And even in winter time as well, you can still have these treats. I was saying,
Absolutely.
you could go and have a really nice dinner together,
Yeah.
or even like shop or whatever you like, and then
Yeah.
have this, a few of them, as a treat just after, as a dessert. And it's a
Yeah.
really nice way to kind of end the evening.
You could even pass them off as your own. So when we do actually have the sleeve gone off, when there's going to be no stickers on the jar, you could actually have them on the table, and then no one would be none the wiser that you didn't create them yourself at all. So
And so, man, that's a
absolutely.
tip for you guys. For the guys out there, if you're not very good at, like making your own dessert, you can just
Whip one, yeah, go for it. I'm happy with that. No
and then they're
problem.
like, where is this from? Whatever boyfriend name.
Yeah.
And you can be like, well, I'll come along again and I'll make them.
Honestly, whatever anyone wants, we're there for. We are all about our customers and what they want. So if they want to do that, then absolutely. And we also have some great recipes on our website. Because when we were Portobello before, we won Great Taste Awards. We were stocked in some really, really cool shops. We were stocked in Farm Girl and Panzer's Deli. So all of our award-winning cheesecake recipes are on our website. So go and check them out, try them yourselves, because they do taste so, so good, and they're all vegan, gluten-free. And then do you know what? It's really hard to find a dairy-free dessert that tastes good.
Yeah.
Like you said, doesn't have the aftertaste and doesn't have that texture.
Yeah, and it tastes like too artificial, and the texture's like, ooh. But this one, it doesn't have that at all, and it is really.
That is the aim. That is the aim.
Yeah.
So
and
thank you so much.
The other one I'm gonna try is the tiramisu.
Yeah.
And this is good because I just love sweetened coffee together. So this is gonna be good. I'm trying.
You're gonna have to crack.
Sorry.
You're gonna have to crack through the chocolate. So we did like a magnum effect. So it's like a hard chocolate. So you're gonna have to crack through it to get through to the bottom. So it won't be runny. It'll be more like a crack.
Oh, nice. Right. Okay. So these pots are kind of 90 grams and stuff. Can you say kind of like the portion sizes and what you feel about them? Because I think they're just the right amount. Just even for like a picnic or after a meal at home. I think it's just a good portion size. How did you get to this?
So it's really interesting. Yeah, so it's really interesting, but the size is really cool because everyone thinks it's way smaller than it is. It's actually pretty big. So if you look at what's currently on the market, most of the sizes are about 83 grams. Ours is 90, and the size of the jar is about 120, but we leave a little gap at the top. And essentially, really, the main thing about it is that they're all under 330 calories, and it satisfies you. It doesn't feel like, so it's one serving per pudding. You could share one between two, it doesn't actually matter, but the idea is that it looks really deceptive because it's small, but actually it gives you such a good amount within that jar. And actually you can share two, or you can actually just keep one for yourself if you just feel like it. So it's the perfect portion, really. And it's not too guilty.
Yeah. But when you finish like a whole pot, you don't feel excessively heavy from it or anything. It's just a nice kind of finish from your meal or outing or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even like a coffee break or something, or a tea break, to have it with that even, you can even do that as well.
Yeah,
really,
absolutely.
Really
yeah, 100%.
Do you want to describe the other kind of flavours on the website as well? Because I think we've got about 5 that we talked about. There are 3 more other ones. Is there a pistachio one?
Yeah, so we have white chocolate pistachio, blueberry cream, strawberry shortbread, which are the main ones. And we are working on a completely new flavour, which doesn't fit the profile of anything that we've done before. But it's a work in progress, and we'll keep it under wraps until it's ready to launch. But it's very exciting, and it's slightly different. It's out there a little bit. It's a little bit more crazy. Like, when I said about I'm trying to find flavours that are really people like, but this one hasn't been done before, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. So this will be interesting. It'll be good.
Okay, this one's a bit of like a completely out of the box flavour.
Absolutely, yeah. So exciting.
When's that one coming out, did you say?
This year, hopefully. It's been a while because we're working on shelf life and trying to get our product even more refined and better than it can be. So it will be hopefully this year, but we're fingers crossed. It all takes time to make sure it's perfect.
Work in progress, and anything great always takes time as well.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to make sure that it's perfect before launching it.
Okay, yes, amazing. So, what is it that we were going to say now? So, what is your website that people can go on? Because you said there were some recipes on there. There's also some gift cards as well if you want to do that on there as well.
Yeah, so it's poshpuddings.com. It's literally just our name.com. And there's recipes on there. There's you can order your cheesecakes on there. You can also contact us if you have any questions. It's like a one-stop shop. But also on our Instagram, we always, oh God, the only thing about sitting outside is there's wasps everywhere. The good thing about our Instagram though is that we have so many giveaways all the time. So if you do fancy trying it and you're not sure, obviously a pea and coconut, you might think, oh, what is that? You know, if you want to give it a go, enter the giveaways, because every single week we have a giveaway with great brands and you can win some cheesecakes, and there is a winner every single week, and we do pick it at random, so there's a good opportunity there to win some if you fancy it.
Okay, so everybody there, check out that Instagram as well, Posh Puddins Instagram, because there's always giveaways too, so have a follow for that one. Remember, if you're watching the replay again, you can go on the website for them, and also the website underneath, and you see in the description, so have a look at that. And then another thing, once you guys have like kind of bought your puddings or something, you can also send us a picture and put them at 7:30 and then at Posh Puddins, is it with a double F?
Perfect. Yeah, double F. Yeah.
You can just send that through, and then maybe we can post them on each of our sites, just depending on which ones you send. Just like a photo of them. And while you're out and about, because now there's summer's coming up in the UK. It can be anywhere in the UK as well. So just send them in, and then we want to see like how much you're enjoying them as well.
Yeah, and actually, if you send in the best one, we'll send you some more free. We want to see how good you can. Yeah, absolutely. I've actually had some really great pictures from customers, especially like recent times, like after the football and stuff, like going home and having a treat. So I've had some really cool images sent in. So please do just send them in, because we do look at them, and we'll send you some back.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, especially that night. Oh gosh, like, people need a bit of like comfort treat after that one.
I know, that was not good, was it?
No, but they did well. They got into the final, so.
I know, it was such a good atmosphere, but it's a shame.
But then the World Cup next year, so we'll see about that.
I know, fingers crossed. Maybe we'll do a World Cup cheesecake. Like, we'll do the colours white and red.
Yeah, oh, cool. So as well, we were just going to go back, like maybe to your journey from before the puddings. Like, did you study cookery, or did you just kind of just try?
I wish.
The most successful businesses never actually did that though. A lot of them never studied it. They actually just trialed and errored it. They found something in the consumer market where they thought, actually, I want this, or I need this, and I'm going to actually produce it myself. And then, it just blew from there.
No, absolutely. And I think like you've hit the nail on the head. Every time I go to an exhibition or I meet some other founders, it's always they're trying to solve a problem. You can go to the Free From Allergy show and you'll meet people there that have created great creams because their children have rashes, and then it's turned into such an amazing product. And it's the same thing for the food industry. I was essentially a customer. I missed out on an opportunity. I felt rubbish every time I had to have a fruit salad at dinner for dessert, rather than tucking into a lovely apple pie or something. And so I just thought, why not give it a go, and just really perfected it. I even at one point I was studying the oven to see what the temperatures were, to see how best to bake a cheesecake when we used to bake cheesecake. So it was all about time and research and really spending energy and putting energy into it. And it just refined over time. And then when people started to get on board and really interact with us, like I said before, just really listening to what people were saying, what they asked for, and reacting to that, rather than being really stuck on one point and really stuck. So it's the cheesecake has transformed from when we first started. We used to bake soy-based cheesecakes in the oven. It would be like a 4-hour cook, and then it'd be like 12 hours of chilling. It was such a lengthy process, to now where we make these like pots of cheesecakes. The progression is because of what we've listened to from our customers and how the market has changed. So no cooking skills, apart from the fact that I like to cook. Just a lot of research and energy. But I think you can pretty much put your mind to anything if you want to. I think it's more a case of bringing in the people when you need the technical skills. So there were some things we needed elements of skill for, so we looked for that for people to be part of the team. But the kickoff point was just imagination, really.
To have a love for it, and to do something that you want to do, and it can make something as great as a product and come out like this.
Absolutely, yeah. It takes time though.
Exactly. Because something like you kind of refined it, from the start now, and now you have a good process involved into making one. So what we're going to talk about now is the your team? Because you said like you have a few people that you kind of got involved technical skills.
Mm-hmm.
What way that you kind of needed them to like help you out on?
So me and my mum are the team, basically. Is so valuable to us because she used to work in nutrition and dietetics. So she's from a world of understanding science and food and data. So she is my second in command. I absolutely love working with her. And we work together. And actually anyone who knows us as the brand will know us together. They always see us together and recognize us, which is fab. And so we worked with some product developers just to really help us. At the moment, we're perfecting our shelf life, and it's something that we wouldn't be able to do really, really well ourselves. Not because I think certain things like that, where you need the skill of someone to really come in and do it properly, so you can be reassured that the process is properly done. So shelf life testing is being carried out at the moment so that we can really get to a really great shelf life for shops and retailers. So that's our next progression. But yeah, so we bring in a great team for product developers to do certain elements that we just think actually we want this to be as professional as possible.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. So also, because working with your mom, do you have any tips for that? So like somebody else like might be thinking about working with their family and stuff. Do you have any tips? Like, I don't know, do you have any conflicts? Do you have any like disagreements sometimes? And how do you go about that?
No, we have such a good relationship, and I think actually having someone you really trust is really great.
Yeah.
I think it's really great to have people around you that don't always say yes as well, who all like, make you feel like you're doing the right thing. Someone who will challenge you and say, sorry, there's flies everywhere, or wasps. Someone who will challenge you and say, actually, I really don't think that's the correct way of doing it, or have you thought about this? So I think we work really well together because she does challenge it. Yeah, she has
perspective, doesn't she?
And I trust her. I absolutely do trust her. And we've had some lows. We've had some really, really low times where, we've both been in tears in the kitchen, like, oh my God, this is not working, in terms of like ovens breaking down. Or I think we had a big show once a few years ago, and all of the ingredients turned up the day before incorrect. And, there was nothing we could do. And things like that happen. You need someone around you that actually will support you and get through it. But then you have the highs as well, and you just really want to share them with someone that you really love and respect. So I would recommend working with a family member if you get on with them. If you don't get on with them, don't. I don't know if any of my family members I'd want to work with on this, to be honest, but I think definitely picking the right person is the best. But also, it's really hard when you're on your own as a founder. You get really lonely, and also it's hard to know who to ask questions for. So actually having two of you or a soundboard is really, really important.
Yeah, exactly. So because it sounds like you have a very good working relationship too, and she gives you a different kind of side to look from. And she really elevates the kind of brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really supportive, which is really nice to have around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what else was I going to talk about now? Because we said your website. Is there any other kind of social media you want to share, or is there any other products you want to share on your site? Like, you do multi-packaging, multi-packs as well, or something?
So we are working on a multi-pack, which is really exciting. It's all in the process. It's really, so at the moment, the flavours are there. Our packaging and our shelf life are next on our mark. So once the shelf life's in place, we can then finalise our packaging, which we're working with a great company at the moment to really design that look and make sure it's absolutely perfect. And our next plan is multi-packs. So to really see two flavours or the same flavour combined in a really cool way. So we're trying to use our design packaging to really make it unique. So yeah, it will be really exciting, but at the moment we're selling single flavours on our website, and there will come a time where there are flavours exclusively in shops and then just exclusively online, but that is all to come. So it will be I think in the next few months, things will come to a close, and it will be really good, and we can start launching, which is fab.
That's exciting. Things are in like kind of the works and in progressing and stuff.
Yeah, as I say, it's always a refining. It's always as a startup, as a founder, you're always refining and changing. I don't think actually looking at other businesses, I don't think you ever stop. It's just finding the right path. So fingers crossed, it'll be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and also you were talking about kind of working in business and being a founder. So a topic that I'm really passionate about, which is mental health. And like, how do you kind of stay, fit and well mentally and psychologically and emotionally? Because I know you have that support system from your mom. But is there any other stuff that you do on the outside to just boost you up a little bit?
It's such an important question, and I don't think people practice it enough as much as they talk about it. I wish I could say that I meditate every day and I do all these things, but actually I'd love to be able to do it, but time is of the essence. Like, you know, it's really, really hard as a founder to find time, because you are everything, especially in a startup. You are the cook, the accountant, the cleaner, the everything. You're doing everything, and it's really, really hard to really think about time for yourself. So what I do try and force myself out of the house, especially during lockdown where we weren't leaving the house for different reasons. So actually just forcing myself out, you know, and actually trying to network as much as possible. So recently I went to the plant-based summit, and I did a great pitch, and we were talking to great investors, and it was really great because we got to speak to so many different people. I think challenging yourself and putting yourself out there can be tricky, but actually it really helps you with your mental health, because you're networking and you're talking and you're communicating with people that you haven't come across before, and the fear drops down. I think when you're at home on your own, the fear can build up and you think, oh God, no one's going to be interested, or not, you know, I can't talk about this with so and so. But actually when you put yourself out there, you realize, oh, that was such a great experience. I have this now with great contact. So I think challenging yourself, although for mental health it doesn't sound like the best solution, but actually challenging yourself is the best way of overcoming fear and boundaries, and also getting out the house, going for a walk, moving your body, I think are super important as well. So yeah, those are my main two things. Obviously acting, you know, having a healthy lifestyle, but sometimes when you're stressed, all you want to do is do the opposite. So it's just forcing yourself to challenge yourself and kind of get out and move.
Yeah, exactly. Just having like people that you can like discuss things with, especially like-minded people that you said when they were in like networking places, which is a really good thing. And going out and being active as well, especially when you have those times where, like I said, sometimes you're indoors, and it's just nice to go out and about and really get some fresh air and just like go outside and see nature and just spend some time, you know, alone or with people. And yeah, that really helps you kind of get back on track rather than just being like so focused in all the time, you know, on business. It's really nice to just go out and about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what else were we going to discuss about? What is it? Because soon you're going to be in some stores, but the main way people can get your product is by delivery, isn't it?
Yeah, so at the moment it's online deliveries, but we are working to get into shops and retailers. At the moment it's all about shelf life. So once we get that perfected, the packaging will come into place and then we'll get going. But at the moment it's all online, where you deliver, we take a couple of days to make it, and then we send it our next day delivery. So it's pretty quick turnaround. And we send everything in reusable packaging with an ice pack, which you can use again. So you get more than just the puddings. You get a little bit of reusable stuff in there as well, which is fab.
Amazing. So yeah, because we were discussing about couples, and if you're on a date or something, you can also buy 2 of these products.
And share. Yeah.
And if you go on the website to sell 730 romanticrelationships.com, Shauna has kindly put in like a code. So everybody on there, especially on the newsletter as well, you can also go on there, buy your date one, and go on a picnic date, or have one once you've like made your dinner at home, and just enjoy these treats because they really are delicious, and they have that homemade feel to them when you eat them, and they're all 100% vegan, aren't they?
All plant-based, gluten-free. It's all safe. It's really interesting you talk about dating though, because myself and my boyfriend, we always pick one out of the fridge, and then we'll share it. And then 5 minutes later, we'll be like, oh, let's just get another one. And then we share that one. It's literally that kind of vibe. So don't even bother getting one out. Just get 2.
Exactly.
And then
get 2 of them, guys. Get 2 of them. Put a few in your picnic basket and enjoy the summer when it's still here. And yeah, they're really, really tasty. And like you said, you just want to kind of, it's just finish the whole pot yourself, really. So get 2 of these, guys.
That's so nice. Thank you.
So, yes, that's amazing. And thank you again for like coming on and speaking.
No problem.
And so yes, we'll see some nice pictures hopefully from people around. And yeah, order from the websites, guys. And there's a special code on there, so you'll get 2 products on there for you guys. And yeah, till next time.
Thank you. Enjoy the sun. Get outside. Look at the blue sky. Look at it.
It's gorgeous. Get those wasps away and treat flies.
I know. I know.
I'll see you later though. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.